Thank you so much for joining our club, for becoming a member of GDSC, Google Developer Student Club, Conestoga. And yeah, just welcome. So this is an info session. So can everyone confirm like that they can see the slides?
Yes, we can.
Yes. So as I said, this is info session, just generally about the club, what our club is about, what is our mission, what we will do this year, this semester specifically. And yeah, so that's about it. Again, thank you so much for joining. I will introduce myself probably first. So my name is Alexander. I'm Google Developer Student Club lead at Conestoga. And also today we will have a guest from Google, Madhusha, who is a community manager for all Google Developer Student Clubs in Canada. So that's about it. Probably the first thing we will do now is like meet the team. So as I said, already introduced myself. My name is Alexander. I'm Google Developer Student Club lead. I am a CPA program, computer programmer analyst in my kind of third year. Essentially, I'm doing my co-op right now at Vehicle. This is the name of the company. Where is it? Yeah. And yeah, that's about me. Just super excited to have you all here. I will pass it to Andrew.
Yeah, sure. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Andrew, and I'm the GDSC Vice Lead for this chapter. So we've been running the club for the past 2 semesters. I was the previous GDSC lead, and now I'm kind of passing my role to Alexander, and I hope we'll have a great semester this time as well. Super excited for the coming events. We have a pretty cool team, and I think we'll deliver some nice events for you, and you'll learn a bunch of new things this semester for sure. I'm also from CPA from Conestoga. I'm in my final years of studies, and I'm also a part-time at Vehicle right now. So you'll hear the company name Vehicle quite a bit here, and we'll probably do some collabs with them in the future. Yeah, I'm your go-to if you have any questions. I'm running the Discord server, and I'm always happy to assist you if you have anything that comes up. If you're doing any projects, like anything basically like tech related or club related, I can help you with. Yeah, feel free to reach out, and let's meet our tech team now.
Great. So I'm not sure if everyone is here like from our team, but so far let's just go one by one. So this is our tech team. Together, like 7 people are managing the club. So Gawun is our design and marketing lead. I'm not sure if she's here. So yeah, but thank you so much to her for designing these slides. That's great. And I will pass it to Kenna.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So I'm Kenna. I'll be technical lead for the club. I'm in my 2nd semester studying information technology business analysis. And I'm also working as a part-time data engineer at startup company. Prior to this, I graduated with a Master of Science in Computer Science from the States, and I worked about 2 years as a data scientist and a software developer. So I'm open for any conversation or any discussion you want on AI, ML, data science. And throughout this semester or maybe next semester, I'll be conducting and organizing workshops on data science, Python, or machine learning. So yeah, and I'm also like very passionate about like data algorithms. Like in free time, I'll be like working on all lead code questions. So if you have any like doubt, or if you want to work on a lead code question, please reach out to me. I would be more than happy to help you.
That's a great intro. Andrea just mentioned that Gawun is actually here. Gawun, do you want to introduce yourself? Sorry that I didn't.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Gawan, and I'm studying graphic design at Conestoga College. And actually, I'm a third years right now. I might be introduce some Adobe programs like InDesign, Photoshop, or Illustrator, kinds of like that. So if you guys have any question, you can always like ask me. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Kriti?
Hello, everyone. So I'm also a student at Conestoga. I'm currently pursuing software engineering and quality testing. And I just completed my co-op with Siemens, and I'm in last semester of my program. So as a technical lead, I'll be more into testing domain, and I'll be giving information about testing, how the automation works, and all about the testing. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Dave?
Hi guys, so I am in my final semester for the computer applications development course. So for the past 5 years, I've worked as a full stack developer back in India, and I've worked in MERN stack and mean stack. MERN stack not so much, but like I know Angular and all those things. Other than that, I was a professional like athlete for 2 years in the past. For the past 4.5 years, I've like dabbled in social media marketing, brand development, graphic designing, and those sort of things. So like if you have any questions or you have a problem that you know like to share with someone, so you can reach out to me. Feel free. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much. Interpret.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. A very good evening, good morning, I would say, if you're in India or in somewhere. So I'm Inderpreet. So I'm enrolled in web design and development program. Presently, I'm in my third semester of the program. So back in India, I had around 4 years experience. I worked as a process designer and automation developer. So I welcome all. So feel free to reach me if you have any related question related to web technologies or either in automation. I'm very much interested in that, process designing and all those stuffs. And in the next month, I'm going to give us sessions on related to web technologies. So see you there. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, thank you everyone for introducing themselves. So that's great. Cool. So now we will actually talk about the club itself. So about Google Developer Student Club. And as I said earlier, today we have a guest speaker from Google, Madhusha Kare. He's a community lead for community manager at Google, and he's responsible for all Google Developer Student Clubs in Canada. So I will probably, Madhusha, are you here? Just to confirm.
Hey Alexander, how are you?
Great, thank you. I'm great. How are you?
I love how nervous you are, like double checking, like an hour before. Hey man, you coming? I'm like, yep. 5 minutes before, hey, you coming? I'm like, yep. And then once I'm here, like, is he here? Is he here? I love it. You should be a lawyer. Are we good? Can I kickstart? Can I quickly share my screen?
Yeah, sure. So I will stop my share. So you're welcome. Start yours. So.
Okay, so let me quickly go through.
There is no audio if you're presenting.
Yeah, when I present, my audio cuts off. Is that a Zoom thing? You should have gone with. Okay, hold on. Let me try this again.
Then maybe, yeah. Yeah, you're getting muted as soon as you present.
Okay, how is it?
No, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so I had a video clip on this, so I'm not gonna play it because there's no point of watching it without audio, but you can hear me. Thumbs up, Alexander. Everybody, can you hear me? Okay. All right, very quickly, I like to do this exercise every time. Just drop on the comments as to what you're studying, especially if you're not a if you're not a computer science or engineering student. I want to know on the comments on everybody's chat. Just mention what you're studying, so I get an idea as to what you all are studying in school. Very quickly, my name is Midisha Kure. I am based in Waterloo, and I do work with the developer communities, and that's my handle on Twitter, Instagram, and you can also find me on LinkedIn if you want to connect. So let's see, mobile solutions development, Bachelor of Computer Science, computer programming, software engineering, web development, a lot of technical, Bachelor of Design. Okay, that's good. Computer science, CPA. Am I talking about the same type of CPA, or is it acronym for something?
Probably computer programming.
What is SCT?
As far as I understand, although there is another program, I think SCT is software engineering technician.
Okay.
Technology.
Okay. Mechanism analysis. Okay. So I see a lot of technical, which is fine. By the way, if you happen to know others who are non-technical, welcome to encourage them to join as well. Because we are a technology club. That doesn't mean you need to be a technologist per se. At the end of the day, you're going to end up working with humans. Okay, so I always try to kick off every presentation, and I think you should too. Encourage your community to follow the code of conduct. So we do have a code of conduct policy here for your reference. And what we mean by that is be nice to everyone. Everybody brings a different experience. They come from different backgrounds, and we appreciate and we encourage you to respect that. And I think that's one of the biggest pillars within Google's culture. And one other thing I want to say, which Alexander forgot to remind is, if you haven't registered to this event on your gdsc.community.dev page, go register. And if you register, just RSVP, because that's going to help Alex keep track of all this, and you're going to make his life easy. And then automatic email comes to you all saying, hey, what do you think about the event? What can you do better? And that feedback goes directly to Alex as well. So when you get a chance, please do that and help him out and give him feedback. So we always collect feedback. It's always constructive to have it. Okay, so before I get into what GDSC is, I want to tell you what this whole process was. So Conestoga, this is the second year we're having it. We were lucky enough to have Andre last year. They all went through the same kind of process. So we did have a blast, even though it was very tiresome because we had thousands of applications that came in to lead chapters across North America. We went through all that, and one of the requirements was a video. I know you don't see the audio of it. I'm going to skip this. I'll put the link later on. I'll actually, let me try to share that link with you, so that way we're not going to, yeah, let me put that here. Don't watch it now. I'll share it later. So what happened was, once we selected them, we had a few conversations through the interview process. We sent them through some training. They are part of our Slack group. So also we have some of the core officers added to the Slack community, so they can collaborate and talk to other chapters as well. So they got trained on what not to say, what to say, how to use the brand, and all these rules somewhat that what they should do. So the reason I'm just sharing this is they did go through a process to get selected as a lead. And if you're interested in the future, you're welcome to apply as well. It's not something that we selected in random. We gave it some real thought. There were other candidates who applied as well. So, so there's a method to the madness, and there's a real strategy around it. So after that, what I want to know is when you hear the word Google or the brand Google, what do you think? What comes to mind?
Technology.
Okay, and yeah, you can unmute, speak up. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
Interweb, Gmail, YouTube, Android, data. Keep throwing at it.
Innovation.
Search bar. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So a lot of people relate this to search, right? Anything search related is Google. And to be honest, that's where everything started. But we are a lot of things to a lot of people, right? So for example, we have close to 9 products that touch about 1 billion people. I think it might be 10 now, but 9 for sure. So Google Search, Android, Chrome, YouTube, Google Maps, the App Store itself, and all the applications that we end up building on the platform. Gmail, Photos, GCP. I don't even know if Firebase is there yet, but anyways, there's a few others that maybe I even forgot. So to add some context, what 1 billion looks like, North America and South America combined is about 1 billion people. So, and it comes with some complexities, as you can see. So there's 35 different countries. They speak more than a dozen languages. They cover different time zones, right? So when you have 35 different countries, 35 different languages, you need to support all these different languages. When you have the country policies change from country to country that we need to take into account. And now we're not, and this is a good case of, in a way, how diverse the products and services we provide need to be. Now, also, I'm a Mac user, right? I'm an iPhone user. Everything that Google build needs to work on Apple, as well as PCs, as well as Chromebooks. So we need to be universal to a lot of people. So we realized that we can build this technology, we can build this up to scale by ourselves, right? So that's why we leverage external developers, and we built a whole umbrella of a suite of community initiatives to support that. So, so hence Google Developers were born. And then Developer Student Clubs, Google Developer Student Clubs is an umbrella, is a little piece of that umbrella. So, so you are based on campuses, universities, colleges. We have other programs for high school kids through STEM and other initiatives through school boards. But you are like the step between the professionals and the graduates from high school. So this was an initiative started in India, Indonesia, Sub-Saharan Africa, and slowly brought to North America. So the people who run it, like myself, we do have battle scars. We have been members. We do have experience of enjoying the benefiting of being a part of a community, as well as not being a part of a community. So when I say battle scars, I was working at BlackBerry. Then I went and started a company with one of my friends, and we had about 2 million downloads in his application that he built. And then it was all built on the BlackBerry platform, and the BlackBerry platform was going down, and we were like, oh God, well, what are we going to do? So we had to switch between 2 platforms, what language stack to use. There was a lot of learning. This was a little while ago, and the industry wasn't as mature as it today, and not as stable as what it is today. So there was a lot of learning, but we realized that there's nobody to reach out to and ask questions and bounce ideas off, because everybody was in that learning mode. Plus, there was no concept of community there. So when I joined my second startup, we did about 10 million downloads there. And again, we went through a transition. This was a mobile gaming application. I had to figure out how to switch from freemium to ad-based revenue. So again, there was Ad Colony, and there's a few other applications. I don't even remember the names anymore. And we had to figure out how to optimize it. Again, it was very saturated. There was nobody really asked a question and bounce ideas off. So, so once I left that and ended up working at Community Tech, if you know what Community Tech is, it's an incubator. I work with about 2,500 different entrepreneurs there. and help them raise seed to pre-seed angel rounds up to about $10 million in that 3 years I was there. What I realized was the concept of community was very valued. So we ended up building an investor community. We ended up building a startup community, and we structured them as to idea stage, to scale up stage, to maybe like things like solopreneurs. And we started running different programs. And I realized, okay, by putting all these other individuals together, collectively, our knowledge base is going to be much stronger, and we're going to be stronger. We're going to end up building stronger companies and technologies. So we brought that same concept, and when Google tapped to run this program, it's no different. So our concept is in process is somewhat similar within Google. So what we do is we have this 1 to few to many approach. Now, 1 being us, Google, few being you, the DSC leads, the tech, the clubs, and then many being your members. As you can see, the arrow goes both ways. So we send out content bundles, we put campaigns together, we build the technologies, and then you go spread the word with your communities. Also, we want to hear what you think about what we do. So we collect that feedback, we take it back to our engineers, and we apply it. And it's a full circle. So that way we can build better technologies, we can build better tools for you as developers. So keep that in mind. So there's always, that's why I ask you to fill out those forms, give us feedback, and Alexander can relay that back to us. So there's a few other communities that you should be aware of, especially if you are from Waterloo area. There's Google Developer Groups. Now, again, GDSC is based on campuses, universities, colleges. GDG is based on city level. So Waterloo has a chapter. They run their own events. And globally, we have about more than 1,000 chapters. I think North America has about, now when I say North America, is English-speaking North America, US and Canada. We have about 170 plus chapters. I think a little bit more. And on a regular basis, they run a lot of these events. One of the flagship events that GDG usually run is called DevFest. You probably heard of it if you're from another region. So that's one community you should keep in mind. And then we have another sister organization called WTM, Women Tech Makers, to encourage women in technology to find other peers, mentors. And if you are somebody who's thinking into getting into technology, this is a great community to be a part of. And the final community I want to talk to you about is Google Developer Experts. So I also help run that program here in North America with Kyle. And what we do here is we notice that there are individuals who are well adapted to our technologies, who are in par with some of our engineers in some cases, and we can scale. So for example, we can't send a Google speaker every time, but these individuals can do an equally good job. So we leverage this community to do talks, be evangelists on behalf of us. And it's a very high threshold to get into this program. So you need to be truly an expert with a lot of community initiatives in your resume. So keep that in mind. Maybe it'll be happening in the future. So we have about 800 plus experts across the world. We have 195 in North America. And you can find all that. So Alexander might bring in some of those experts to do some talks in the future. So where do you fit in as a GDG member, GDG lead, GDSC lead, and a community member? So as you can see, the GDG, WTM, GDE, again, the arrows go both ways because we have individuals who are running GDG chapters, who are GDEs, who happen to be WTMs as well. And we see you becoming the future of transitioning into one of these roles in the future, either as a member, as a leader, as a community organizer. So technically, you're still going to be a part of our family. Maybe you're wearing a different badge at any given point. So why are you here? So we realized the most important thing about anything is being aware of. So for example, like if you didn't know about, let's say, Firebase, for example, right? You would never know its capabilities are. And usually the way it works is when you run into a problem and you want to solve a problem, you go, oh my God, what do we do now? Sometimes it's serendipitous. So for example, you might be a business student, you might be doing accounting on a stats class, but if I show you how to do a Google Sheets better, pulling data from Yahoo Finance, pulling data from Google Finance and writing a few equations to spit out, let's say, a nice financial model. Even though you're a business student, accounting student, and you're not so keen on learning how to do coding, that might pique your interest to say, oh, wait a second, I only had to do three lines of coding, and now we can upgrade it to, let's say, using a little or learning a little bit of AppScript, again, on Google Sheets. And then you can upgrade learning more Python, for example. And then you can go learn a little bit more on the capabilities on cloud. So there's a nice transition, but the most important thing is increasing that awareness. So if you happen to have a friend who's in a different stream, and if you happen to know that you're running a workshop, let's say I know Alex ran a data structures and algorithms course. I know that's very specific to computer science, but there might be other things that you're doing that they might be interested in. So yesterday we ran a session on legal insights for student entrepreneurs. So any of you having a startup idea, again, it's run by GDSC. It might not be appealing, not just to appeals, not just to computer science, engineering students, also business students, and anybody who's having the entrepreneurial bug. So keep that in mind and help spread and let your community be more aware as to what you are capable of doing through this community. So then the second part is accessibility. So for example, accessibility plays an interesting role from region to region. So if you're in sub-Saharan Africa, the accessibility biggest question is, I don't have a computer. What do I do? How do I learn computer science when I don't have a computer? In North America, it's like, can I get Google credits? And then, so we built special tools to help you with the accessibility part. So for example, Quick Labs, Study Jams, what we do is when we do our training, you're actually training on the actual cloud. It's not a simulator. We allocate a certain time, a certain amount of resources just for you to go play with it, learn it on the spot. So we tackle some of those accessibility issues from region to region, and North America is no different. So then what we do is, what about educating? So how are we going to educate? We have content bundles that we send to your leads. Your leads can train the core technical leads, and then the technical leads can go train the community. Or we also have live events that we do collectively as a group across the region. So Andre last year helped us do a 5-day series with Rafa from Redlands and Dalton from Hofstra. Again, coast to coast, covering a lot of these things, and they brought everything together. And it was great. It's a great initiative. And so yeah, we're looking to do more workshops and things like that. And finally, we want to see, now you're aware of it, you get access to it, now you're educated, you know what to do with it. Now we want to see what you're going to end up building with it. So we do have different initiatives to go build things. We wouldn't mind you doing maybe your capstone projects with what you learn. We don't mind you doing trying to build startups with what you learn. And we do have another competition called the Solution Challenge. I'm going to talk a little bit later as well. So those are like the 4 pillars. If you really think about what we're trying to do here, those would be like 4 items that I can highlight from a very high level, and then you can drill down into each item. Yeah, so in a summary, so we expect you to like be a member of this community, grow and run and lead workshops, build projects and do some showcases. I'm happy to do something Waterloo related because we have a Laurier chapter. We have a University of Waterloo chapter. And by the way, I'm not bragging, like Conestoga is the biggest chapter so far and the most active chapter so far for the past 3 years. So, so yeah, kudos to all of you. So what is Solution Challenge? As I said before, we wanted to throw some problems at you if you couldn't find a problem. So last year, the framework we put in front of was anybody who was building anything that falls within the sustainability goals that the United Nations put out. So we created a competition. We had like 800 to 900 different submissions globally. We picked the top 50, we mentored them. And then the top 10 got a chance to demo it globally as well. You can find those videos on YouTube. And I think Alex or Andre can share it with you later. I'm not going to play this clip, but yeah, top 10 winning team. So last year and the year before was a little bit different because COVID happened. Usually the winning teams were flown to California and then do a demo at the Google head office, but we couldn't do that anymore, but the online version really worked well. and the winning team from North America was a Canadian team. I think it was from McMaster, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So what's the benefit of being a part of GDSC? There's no membership fees. If Alex starts charging you membership fees, let me know. Experience, you get to experience working on some real projects. You get to boast and add some skills to your resume. And you have access to Googlers and other experts to help you run some of those workshops and get more exposure to things. You get badges, certification programs, options, other options to kind of like get you level yourself up. And there are other resources that we fill Alex and the core team on a regular basis. So finally, I know I went through a lot. I think I went through a lot faster too. It doesn't make sense, you know. And if you're not doing all this, and so one thing you got to always make sure is to have fun, right? So otherwise, this is not going to be. I don't want you to feel like you're doing a full-time job, even if you're a lead, core officer, member. So keep that in mind. That's the end of my time, and I'm happy to take any questions. I'm happy to answer any or clarify anything that you may have from the audience. You can unmute, you can drop it on the chat. And this is that clip I shared earlier. Watch it later, don't watch it now. Otherwise you're gonna get distracted. So Alex, Andre, core officers, core team members, any questions that you want me to answer?
Thank you so much for the talk, Vidushan. This was awesome. Considering you probably need to present this to all the chapters, you sound fresh.
Yeah, how can we enroll ourselves in the challenge? So what happens is the focus in the fall term is to help you kickstart the community, do some training, and then the challenge officially starts in January, and then the announcement is going to be made. But that being said, if you have an idea that you want to get started on, go search for Google Solution Challenge. You'll get all the information you need. Slightly the rules might change, or the topic might change depending on the theme we pick for the year. But everything else should be somewhat structured. But keep that in mind. And so if you have a product, if you have an idea, if you have a passion project, there's no harm in getting started early. One thing you got to remember is the team sizes. You got to be 4 or less than 4. I don't think we're going to allow any solo projects. I know we've done that in the past, but if you are, it's a limitation. And then read the rules, go through it. Remember, the judges need to review your code and things like that. So if you're comfortable with all that, you're welcome to get a head start and then see how it fits in towards the end.
Yeah, on solution challenges as well, Vidusha, do you know if there is any like constraints when you can start actually implementing your solution?
Not really. So usually we make sure it's within the school year, right? So it's like starting in September. The only caveat is what if the target changes. So if you look at the 17 sustainability goals by the UN, is very broad. Even individual, the goal is pretty broad. So hunger can be like, I mean, it's a huge thing. You can do so many things in that. Education is a big one, right? So we do give you like a good, lot of flexibility. The reason we wanted to have something purposeful is you're not going to invent, like, you're not going to come up with a project like, or something that you did a hackathon, which the most common is, is this a plastic bottle or is it a pop can? Which bin do I throw this into? That's not really, this is good for you, but we want to have some, we want you to really think about what you want to put and put some purpose behind it. If I finish my course in this again, say participate in the challenge in January. Interesting question. I'm going to say no, because you need to be a student. At the end of the day, the school gets the credit for that. I mean, the students get the credit, but you need to fall under that umbrella as a student to qualify. So keep that in mind.
That's actually a tricky one. Sorry to interrupt you. I think, like, I know that Conestoga clubs, they accept members even if you're an alumni, a recent alumni of the school. So there might be constraints from like the solution challenge of the things, but you can stay as part of the club even if you're an alumni. Participating in a solution challenge, you need to read the actual rules.
Actually, I highly recommend you read the rules. So for example, I'll give you, and again, this is on the rules. So Quebec can't participate. Any campus from Quebec can't participate because it's what it is, competition rules and other things. So it's too complex, right? So remember when I spoke to you with there's 1 billion people, 35 different countries, different policies, like all those things play a part of it, right? So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I highly recommend you still read the rules and be acquainted with it. Okay, so there's another question from Jay. And team that we have to build is from the developer student clubs, or we can build a group from our classes. As long as you are students from Conestoga College, that shouldn't be a problem. And they'll eventually become members because, so for example, when Alex and Andre, when they run, let's say, info sessions about Solution Challenge, they would have, like, it's always good to attend some of those things and like, oh, this is what the challenge is this year is about. Here are the rules. I have a few questions, so they can highlight some of those items and bring it to us, and we'll clarify it and bring it back to them. So as long as they're students on campus, it should be fine.
Yeah, we're really interested if you want to bring a project into the club. We're really interested in like helping you develop the project and support you with like workshops or talks. So let's say you're doing a project using Firebase, we'll bring in a Firebase dev to help you out and support your project. And maybe you have any problems with it.
So the other thing is, yes, Solution Challenge is one part, but like focus also on, I mean, here's the thing, it doesn't need to be a competition. You want to learn something, you want to go build something, go do it, right? And tell us about it. So at the end of every event, we ask Alex to even say, hey, do you have any interesting stories you want to share? And there's a separate form that he can fill out saying, hey, this kid came from nowhere, taught himself how to do it based on our club. I think I'm very proud of his or her achievements. And if he were to submit that story, there might be it's good for us, our feedback, and then we might be able to feature some of those things too. So, and you can find some of those stories coming from Africa, Sub-Saharan, Southeast Asia. So, I mean, it's truly inspirational, and yeah, competition is good if you want to use that as a framework. But in the meantime, you know, if you want to get together, like I met Alex for coffee just to bounce ideas off about a binary tree, right? Because and he didn't know anything about it. So I'm just kidding. But yeah, so it's totally up to you. We are very flexible when it comes to it. So any other questions, Andre? Knowing what you know now, from anything else you want me to like, I guess, set the stage and manage expectations with the community?
For sure, yeah, we've been running a project for Solution Challenge last year. I've been running a team as well. Make sure you, like, I think it's going to be important to know what you're doing and like start your project as soon as possible. As soon as you hear about Solution Challenge, already start thinking about what you're going to be implementing, who's going to be on your team, what tools you're going to use. So that's pretty important to set the project on the correct path. Personally, I think that's the important piece.
Cool. No questions. Alex, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madhusha, for the great introduction to GDSC. So cool. I will just continue my share. Okay. Okay, great. So now we'll just talk about some general stuff about requirements, eligibility, and what you can get like from club events, essentially. I will probably, Andrew, do you want to talk about it, or?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have, sorry, you put me on the spot a bit, but yeah, we have, so we have different things that are going to be running in the club, right? So as Madhusha said, attending events, taking part in solution challenge is completely free. The only requirement is you're just part of Conestoga. You're a full-time student. Having said that, we're gonna be doing some prizes during some of our workshops, which are sponsored by the CSI, which is the Conestoga Student Inc. And their requirement is that if you want to be part of the club officially from their side, you will need to pay the CSI club fees. So in order to take the part in the club as is, to just attend the workshops, nothing, you don't need to do anything, you just need to be a Conestoga college student. If you want to take in part into competitions that we organize, Solution Challenge excluded, CSI club's fee is required so that we can like reimburse ourselves when we give the prizes to you, right? Also, if you're interested in co-curricular records, which is another thing that you can achieve in Conestoga and that kind of enhances your, there are multiple things that it benefits during your studies. And this is basically like, if you haven't heard about it, it's basically like a metric of how active you are, or proactive you are throughout your studies. In order to be eligible for a curricular record, you will need to take part in the events posted on the co-curricular portal. For each event, we'll organize like an event there. And you will actually need to attend them. So we'll take attendance of each event, actually probably starting today. If you attended this event, that's a great plus for you. And then we will be giving out co-curricular records to those people who achieve a certain benchmark, which we haven't talked about yet, but we'll see how many events we're going to have throughout the semester. I think if you would attend something like 2 or 3 events, that's already going to be like a very, very positive thing for you to achieve the curricular record. I hope this makes sense. This diagram is super confusing. We reworked this a couple of times and I don't expect you to get it from the first time. One important thing I want to mention is that attending any event is free for any full-time students in Conestoga. I want to put that straight, even though we have the CSI club's fee, that only applies for the prizes that we distribute inside the club.
Yeah. So yeah, just to summarize what Andrei said, yeah, this table is indeed confusing. Just yeah, important 2 moments. If you want, like we will talk about it a little bit later. We will have some internal Conestoga competitions. So if you want to be eligible for prizes, you do need to pay the CSI club fee because these events are sponsored by Conestoga. Yeah, another thing is about co-curricular record. So it's like, essentially it's a confirmation that you were active as a student, right, in the club. So you were engaged. So it's essentially like a confirmation that even you can put maybe attached to your resume or something. So that's essentially it. And yeah, events are free, no fees. So that's it. The next slide is about events. I will probably again pass it to Andrei and we will like collaborate a little bit. So just yeah, generally the club is focused on Google technologies, but we will also we do focus on many other things. So it's very flexible, right? We want our members to learn as much as possible. So, and I will pass it to Andrei to talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, sure. You can see a bunch of technologies here. Our goal is to actually like extend this board to what you want to learn. So for example, like Alexander, we talked about this internally in our core team. Different people can run different technologies from their experience, right? Like they're experienced in that and they can teach you something. We're going to be running a Git workshop pretty soon. Actually, Alexander is going to talk about that shortly. I've been running Firebase and Flutter, and I can kind of help you out on that front. I'll be running those workshops. WordPress, Adobe XD, Elastic, Vue, there's tons of stuff that's going to be happening. we really want to know what you want to learn. So we either are gonna organize like either a Google form, or I'll do a poll in Discord, so you can like vote for the technologies that you want to hear the most, and we'll try to organize those first and prioritize them. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah, cool. So thank you. Then the next event that we plan to host will be on the next Friday, October 1st at 6 p.m. AST. So this will be about Git, so essentially like intro to Git, and we plan to make it as a series, so it will be like a couple of episodes later. So you're always welcome to attend. Let me just share a link with you. Okay. I wish I could. Okay, just a second. So I'll drop it here. So in the chat, you can just, this is a form, essentially just to RSVP. Cool. Then, yeah, you're also welcome, like, to share, please share it with your friends, with the, like, with your fellows, with your classmates at Conestoga. So we have more engagement during our events. So the next great event, great competition that we have at Conestoga is called Demo Day. So essentially it's kind of solution challenge, but again, it's internal for Conestoga students. What this is about, you just pick a problem that you would like to solve. And so during this semester until like, the due date will be, for now, like preliminary due date will be around December 18th. So essentially the end of this semester, fall semester. And then at that date, December 18th, again, it may change, we will have a demo day. So where you will present your projects with a team. So again, you can form teams up to like 4 people. And then you will demo them to us, and we will invite some industry professionals as well. And yeah, you will be able to win real prizes like Amazon gift cards, Google Developer Student Club swag, etc. So that's a great opportunity for you also, like to network, also to create something cool, and to essentially showcase your work and meet industry professionals as well. So great. Then yeah, and we will keep you posted about this event. So yeah, we'll just email just make sure that you're registered with Conestoga. So I will just share this link. So this link is sorry. So to become this link that I just shared is to become a CSI member, so Google Developer Student Club member, like officially, and you will need to pay like this small fee to enter the competition as well, to be eligible for the prizes. That's great. Then the next thing I would like to mention, so Vehicle is a great company, software consultancy, essentially where I work, where I do my co-op right now, and Andrew also works there. So this company uses a special technique called mobbing for our work. And you can read about mobbing here. Just this is a great article. Okay. Yep. This is the link to join growth sessions. So growth sessions are like essentially awesome opportunities for you to experience what real programming feels like day to day, essentially. So you can just visit this website and you will be able to see like different growth sessions, and you can just click the join button. They organize like about different technologies and they utilize mobbing. So maybe Andrew, can you add on something to this?
Yeah, for sure. So this is like, when you go to this link, you'll see like a calendar view where you'll see different sessions scheduled across different days, and you can join any of them in the time that you want. These are kind of like sessions where you work together as a team, up to like, I don't know, 6 people on the same problem, and you code the solution together. You will be working with like real vehicle employees as well if you join. So if you're, spoiler alert, if you're looking for like a co-op or position somewhere and you want to connect with somebody, that's a very good opportunity to showcase what you're worth, and maybe you can connect and like get more opportunities with vehicle in the future. And as I said already, you will be hearing the company name a lot throughout the semester, because both me and Alexander are working for them.
Okay, everyone's here, right? My Zoom just crashed. So okay, so it happens. Great, yeah. So as Andrew said, just great place to meet like industry professionals, experience how programming in real life feels like, and also experience mobbing. So just wanted to bring that to you. Essentially, that's all that we have. Just a very important like notes, join our club, so become a member. This link, Andrew, could you please, or someone reshare them?
Oh yeah.
Yep. So this first one for all students. So this is like a GDSC portal where you will be able to see all the events that we post, and you can attend them as well. And the second link is to become like officially Google Developer Student Club member from Conestoga site. So this this form like essentially will enable you to participate in our internal events like Demo Day, where you can win real prizes. And then yeah, this is our social media. Just join us, follow us, and you'll be able also to see the past events, some posts about the future events. So we will use YouTube to upload our all the events that we host. So people who missed them, they can just rewatch them later. So yep, so that's about it. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here.